What is up, fam? Hope this message finds you all well and good spirits. Well, if you're like me and you're GT500 crazy and you've been watching all the videos from the Goodwood Festival of Speed, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Billy Johnson were just ripping up the GT500. It was so exciting. Everyone was like, yo, look at the videos. I watched them over and over. If you don't know, yes, we are getting a GT500 to come to the channel. It's in the order banks. We have put everything we had to do. We are so excited. We're going to document and vlog the whole process for you. And the videos are out, and I pretty much have them on replay. But like any fanatic of like comic books or like any kind of hobby, you notice small things, small peculiar things. And even you guys have hit me up and said, hey, what do you think about the check engine light that showed up in Vaughn Gittin's video, the promo video, that even when he was doing it looked like he was doing the launch control, it wasn't there. And then later in the race, you see it predominantly, the check engine light. Now, the caveat is it's still pre-production, so they're still working on it. I think there's some videos up where they're actually in Arizona with computers and laptops still ironing out all the details. So I believe Ford knows the importance of this car. They're not going to just say, hey, we're just going to, they're not going to just kind of throw it out there. They're going to make sure that it's really out of the gates, if you will, and running. And I respect that. I applaud that, especially someone like myself who's putting a ton of money that I've never spent this much on a car before, but I'm hoping to bring some of the best content for the GT500 on YouTube. So to circle back to the check engine light, pre-production model, it happens. That's okay. They're going to work out the details, I'm sure. The scary part for me is that, I know personally I'm not going to modify the car. We're going to maximize its stock as much as we can. But before we get to any of that, we had to talk about what happened. As I was editing the video, I was watching the two different videos that were uploaded both on Ford Europe and Ford Performance. And I noticed that, the check engine light, seemed to be gone. And I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me because I didn't want to take a look at the comments and read the temperature of the room of what people were saying in conjunction with the check engine light, what it means. Forget about the troll comments, but just kind of see the temperature and just have a discussion with you guys about it. And then I noticed something peculiar was that the check engine light that was on the Ford Europe channel was still there, but the one in the Ford Performance video seemed to be gone. I don't know if it got edited out or the check engine light literally, if you guys know check engine lights, sometimes they blink. Sometimes they go on and off. I mean, we all know how Vaughn Gittin Jr. likes to drive. Who knows if there was something they didn't account for with the way he drives, but that's okay. I just wanted to just kind of talk about, like, was it removed or was it like different milliseconds of the check engine light coming on and off? I digress. We don't know. Let me know in the comments below, but we want to talk about the meat of the video. What does that mean for someone like myself who is going to purchase the vehicle, and what does a check engine light mean? Okay, so if you're like me and you have an order in, and even if you're like watching every GT500 video like crazy and you're like super excited about it, and you're thinking to yourself, I can't wait to hear it sounds, I want to see how it looks, I want to see how it gets ripped down the strip, the Detroit racetrack, the colors, the whole nine, we get all that, right? But if you're going to spend money, you're kind of worried because you know the issues that happen with a new model, any new production car. Now, again, this is not a ground up car, but this is a new variant, right? This is the 5.2 cross-plane crank, Eaton supercharged, 760 horsepower. We know the deal, mid 3 seconds, sub 11 second quarter mile. It goes on and on and on. Then you see the check engine light. And if you saw the very, very first promo video back in January, there was a wrench light on. People caught connection to that too. So now you're kind of getting a little like, okay, you're still testing the car. The check engine light, there's a wrench light. It looks like the light was removed. So as a consumer, a fanatic, and again, this is no shot at Ford. I'm just trying to like be the voice of the people with the questions I could ask and have a conversation with you guys. There's a cause for like being a little cynical and saying, okay, what does that mean? A little scared because the car is going to be so critiqued because it took so long, because it is the most popular sports car in the world, because the best-selling sports car in the world. This is just a huge, momentous occasion, right? So we are going to sweat over the details. And yes, it might seem minuscule to you, the check engine light situation, but the peculiar thing is we want to make sure that when we buy the car, it's as flawless as it can be. I'm sure Ford's doing the same thing. Now, when I get mine, I'm not going to modify the car. We're going to push this to its limits stock because, first of all, I don't want to lose my warranty. Second of all, if I do get a check engine light, if something happens, I want to be able to take it to Sheridan for where I'm getting the car. We'll have a delivery there too, so stay tuned for that, or come to the delivery of the car. We want to make sure that we're following everything to a T. Break-in period, oil changes, the whole nine, and follow the instructions. If we do get a check engine light, we will go from there. But the peculiar thing is, it took so long. There's wrench lights. There's a check engine light. Now it's gone. You're still testing the vehicle. Took forever for the 760 horsepower to come out. And anybody that watches this channel and knows me knows I'm a Ford fanboy. But at the same time, I still have to be able to be honest. I don't want to just be a mouth. I'm not, I'm just an open, honest person. I'm not a mouthpiece for Ford. I am a fanatic. I am an apologist. But we had to talk about it because the car looks great. It sounds great. I'm so excited. But there are some, a little bit of blemishes, if that makes sense, that we have to discuss and talk about. When I get the car, we will be even more careful and honest with what the ownership experience is like. So that if you are eventually in the market for one, or if you have one, or if you're just someone who wants to live in the experience with us, with me, I'll share that with you. Besides all that, the check engine light, the car taking forever to come out, we're not going to really modify it. Everything else is flawless. I mean, the car sounds amazing. It looks epic. It was probably the cheapest car there at the Festival of Speed, and it looked like it fit right in. That grabber line looks amazing. If you don't know, we ordered the Rapid Red Metallic based off a fan vote, so I very much engaged with you guys. The car, everything else looks awesome. The only thing I think, we'll talk about when we have the ownership experience what we don't like. Only thing I know that people are still kind of like butthurt about is the transmission shift knob, but it's a 7-speed dual clutch, so you're actually saving room. You don't want a big lever in the middle. Maybe I'm just being an apologist here. And for the price tag of where it's at, it's competing with cars 3 or 4 times its price. And the videos we did see with it ripping, and even this video from Arizona, and I'll put links in the description of the YouTube videos and the Instagrammers who have posted this stuff. The car looks great. It is ripping. It is kicking butt. But we got to talk about the fact that there are going to be some issues, especially with what happened with the 2018 and up Mustang that came out. There were some issues with the aluminum shift forks. There was the questions with the ticks that ended up being a service bulletin that people just ended up sending them and things of that nature. So we have to be, and Ford understands this. Ford, I understand they're smart, and they realize that this is such a delicate product, but it's going to be so dynamic product changing for the company that it needs to be, for lack of a better term, flawless. So yeah, if a promo video has a check engine light or a wrench light and they end up taking it out, or just flickering and it came off in different edits, because the video from Ford Europe is a little different edit than the one from Ford Performance, we'll see. That remains to be seen, and like I said, I'll share with you guys. Am I being paranoid? Am I just being over the top because I'm getting one and spending like my life savings on this car and I want to make sure it's like as perfect as possible? It's a machine. Things happen. I get that. Let me know in the comments below. We could be overreacting, but it's peculiar to me. I would have much rather have had the check engine light just been like out there, and it's like, it's pre-production. They could have just said pre-production shown. They're still working it out. But I know all the haters, even the haters within the non-Ford, in the Ford community, be like, oh, I'm just going to get a GT and boost them faster. But, we talk about the fact that the car is special and it's so impactful. Anyways, this quick video, we're going to have a whole ton of GT500 videos. Besides just talking about things, when we get the VIN, we're going to try to actually get to Ford. We're going to try to see the car, going down the assembly line if we can. It's understandable. We're going to be at the Woodward Dream Cruise in August. I think it's August 17th, so stay tuned for all that stuff. I'm going to try to bring you the best content I can and have conversations with them. And let me know, comment below what you want to see with the G500 as far as content on here. And, just have an honest conversation. Keep the conversation going. Keep the channel growing. We're growing leaps and bounds. We're going to also talk about things outside of the GT500 realm. We're going to talk about like the C8s coming out. The new bumper came out. That's coming out in a few days. And, you know, we'll go from there. Anyways, let me get to work. Hope you know it never ends. God bless you. Peace.